Hello, I am Leander Gift Mkongo, student number ST104744154, and I am currently doing my second year in computer science and information technology. This is my project for my part 2 of my cyber security awareness chat box. It was developed for South African citizens to help identify and mitigate cyber threats. We have moved from simple console interfaces to a fully Windows Form application. As the form launches, the first thing you should hear is a recorded voice greeting message, which is implemented into this form, but it can't play on my device currently or on this virtual machine for some reason. So this uses the system's media namespace simultaneously, as well as the ASCII art logo, which was implemented from my part 1. It is displayed effectively as the header in the GUI, maintaining the visual identity. Let us interact with my Windows Form application. So just click here where you can type in. So the chatbot asks what my name is. So I'll just type in my name, and then I press the send button. Okay, as you can see, I got a response that says, "Hello, Leander, what would you like to discuss today or worried about?" So let us talk about my worries on password safety. The chatbot is not case sensitive. You can send. As you can see, it responds in a sympathetic manner. As you can see from this short statement, it's completely understandable to feel that way. Let me share some tips to help you stay safe online, and it's going to give you the tip on how to stay safe on password security. Okay, let's try scamming. Okay, so if you are not being specifically worried about scamming, or you just want to know about scamming in general, it's just going to give you a general answer, such as this one: never share your OTP with anyone over the phone. And lastly, we can try privacy. And it's also going to give you a general answer. So the answers are not always going to be the same. The answers are chosen at random, or they are shuffled. And then when you're done interacting with the chat box, you can click exit, and you're gonna get a nice goodbye message to close the application. Then the application should be closed. So this is my Form 1 CS design, which is viewed on Visual Studios. So the GUI was designed for a user-friendly interaction. It focuses on neatness and proper spacing. I used the list box for the chat history, which allows for the chatbot to have a visual flow, a structured visual flow. And then I implemented a text box where you text and interact with the chat box, and your interactions are viewed on the list box, as well as a send button to send your whatever you type in here to your list box and to communicate with your chat box. And lastly, your exit button, which closes the entire application. Here you can see that I follow the object-oriented programming practices, where instead of having one class that performs the entire code or the entire action of the program, I actually split them up the responsibilities into different classes. So we have the audio player class, which plays the audio, as well as the program class, that's the main program that runs the entire code. The response manager class, which holds the code for the response that the chat box is supposed to give the user, and the sentiment analyzer class, which gives the program the sentimental feel when you are interacting with a user and the chat box. Firstly, this is the user class, um, which utilizes automatic properties to store the user's name. However, for part 2, I added a memory feature, as you can see here, a memory feature. By using the generic list, the bot basically tracks the user's interest history, which allows the bot to remember that the user was interested in privacy earlier in the session and refers back to it simultaneously, giving it a natural conversational flow. This is the sentiment analyzer class, which is basically responsible for the sentimental detection. It uses string manipulation to scan for keywords like scared, curious, or frustrated. But for my main class, I went with mostly worried. If the sentiment is detected, the bot adjusts its tone, which makes the assistant feel more human and supportive when users feel overwhelmed by cybersecurity threats. This is the response manager class, which basically acts like the brain of the operations. This optimizes the performance and the readability. I implemented, as you can see here, dilates or generic dilates and dictionaries, where each cybersecurity keyword, like password or scam, is mapped to list of multiple responses, as well as a conversational flow logic, which can be seen down here. Conversational flow logic, as you can see here. So if a if a user says tell me more, the class checks the list topic variables. It continues the current discussion without forcing the user to retype the keyword, creating a seamless experience. To ensure a professional grade chatbot, I implemented robust input validation. If a user enters an empty string, the application handles it gracefully without crashing. For unsupported queries, the bot provides a specific default response, guiding the user back to valid topics like password or phishing. So if you can see here on the response manager class, this is the default response for unknown inputs. It says, I am not sure I understand. Can you try rephrasing? Ask about passwords and scams. Lastly, this is my GitHub, which shows how many core commits I've done so far, how many edits or additions I've done to my previous code. As you can see, the maximum number of commits I've made is 6, but I just said 5 there for some reason, and that's the entire process of me completing my part 2 for my POE.